The only part that's complicated about kissing scenes is like when you're rehearsing and you're like, if I kiss him, he's gonna think I like him. I would much rather have a kissing scene with someone than like full-blown sex scene. I've only had one, and it was with Anton Yelchin, who's like one of my best friends. So that sex scene happened to be hilarious. But other than that, I think they would be really bad, because I didn't really think about it at first being bad, but it is weird, because you're like, you know, whatever you're doing in the movie, like that's like you're thinking like that's what you do.
Because it was my first time, I felt like I took a little while getting over those jitters of like, oh my gosh, I'm here naked. I think the hardest part is just being comfortable, and once you're comfortable and you can really just, you know, do the art, then you can have a beautiful sex scene. It was really fast. I don't know if it's that fast for other people, but it's like, okay, it's on screen and it's gone and then it's done. Whew, you know, and I watched it actually at the premiere sitting next to my parents. So they didn't even react, and afterward they just raved about how great the film was. They didn't even mention it. I was like, okay, I guess it's fine then.
I prefer to do a sex scene or a love scene or kissing scene with someone I just met personally. If you really know the person really well and you have a set relationship with them as a friend, it becomes really hard to break that and kind of pretend that you love each other. And if you know that that person is somebody that you're like, it's like your brother, it's horrible.
I went to some strip clubs in LA just to be like, okay, this is normal. Like, people can take off their clothes. It's nothing taboo about it. I'm super shy. And I knew for a year before we were doing Salome that I was gonna have to do Salome. And here I am, I'm playing this 15-year-old virgin who's dancing for her stepfather to win the head of this man she loves. The goal is at the end, she's completely gives herself away. Yeah, and she's naked in any way she can give herself. So that's a scary thing to be like, okay, 1,400 people are watching me. And at the end of whatever this 2-minute of me dancing is, it's an acting exercise. I have to be completely like, here I am. And I have to figure out how to get there each time fresh.
I think a lot of sex is very awkward. I think that the instances of awkward lovemaking probably outpace the instances of beautiful, seamless lovemaking in the world. Or at least in my experience. I don't know what other people are doing. Maybe everybody else is going great.
You can show like a man having an orgasm and it can still be PG-13 and you can be on his face. But if it's a woman, it's R. Yeah. If you're on a woman's face when she's having an orgasm. At least that's what they told me. Maybe they just don't like my face. I had one in this movie called Daydream, a few in this movie called Daydream Nation that I did in the fall with Josh Lucas, which wasn't a problem. He's my teacher and it's a thing. Yeah, he's a beautiful man. I didn't have a problem with it. I learned a lot. I really learned about my craft.
I don't know, it wasn't as embarrassing as I thought it would be, but I've never had like a full-on sex scene. I think that would be just very uncomfortable. I don't know if I could be able to do that, so we'll see. I had a sex scene in this movie called Lime Life that I did. We made everyone leave and it was just Rory and I and the director, Derek Martini, and we just kind of like ran through the scene and he's like, just take it as far as you want, and we kind of like took it far and then we both looked at him and we're like, okay, we're done. Is that enough?
I haven't done like a full-on sex scene. I've done like post-sex scenes or like the last few minutes of sex scenes. Yeah, or like, you know, heavy petting under the covers, naked scenes. It's weird. I'm a pretty like obnoxious person, so I'll like make it as uncomfortable as I can just to, like, break the ice. But it's pretty awkward just because it's like you're rubbing against each other, and then like the worst is when they're lighting, because like someone's on top of you and you're on top of them and you're like looking at each other and they're like checking the light and waiting for a plane or something and the boom's in the shot or something and you're just like, what's going on? That's cool. I'm naked too. Nice. I'm Zoe. Yeah.